everybody, and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing the August bullet journal setup, and no, you are not missing, but that left hand side is not filled out, and I have gotten a little bit behind on doing things, so I'm going to work on filming that and getting that one done. I have been studying some French lately, working on some French because we are going to be going to Canada in October, and we'll be near Quebec, so we might get to practice some of our French. So that being inspired, I decided to do some French work in my bullet journal using some of my French, so bonjour and août, which is August. I then used this pigment eyes ink, it's almost the similar consistency of paint, but almost like the alcohol medium as well. It doesn't seem to spread out as much as I was hoping for paint, so I had originally hoping that when I dropped it, it would make more of a splat, and it was more kind of just like a... So if you do use that, you do have to wait some time to let it dry. I will link that in there below. Oddly enough, it is made in France, so I thought that was also kind of a interesting coincidence. So my next page here is my monthly spread, and I'm using a similar layout that I did like last time with the boxes for the past couple of months, but I've made these actually a lot larger. So usually I have that space on the side to put in my chore list, my bills that I've got, and this time I decided not to do that. If you are wondering, I am using N65 on my Tombow pen to do the darker, and then I am using N95 for the lighter. Went in and actually filled in the numbers there. So then going ahead and writing August again in French, and I was going to do the days of the week, and as you can see, still learning here, but for some reason I always start, when I say the days of the week in French, I always start with Monday, and whenever I do my bullet journals, I always start with Sunday, so I immediately did it incorrectly. So I'm just writing those in with my pen there, and then I definitely recommend the Uniball Signo white gel pen. It has been the one that has most consistently worked for me and not clogged. You know, I mean, I haven't used this in several weeks, and I pulled the pen out and it worked just like it did the first time I used it, whereas even with like the Ranger pen, if I pulled it off within 2 weeks, it seemed like it was clogged or dried up, or I'm not sure. So the next page here is my habit tracker, and I decided that I wanted to change that up a little bit. I like the long ways outline that I have, but I hate having to turn the bullet journal sideways to do that, so I decided to stick with a straight up horizontal view, but just go across 2 pages and make it more centered. I am also adding in my chore list down at the bottom, and I figure I'll just mark the day off there, and then just doing the same regular things that I track as well. To do my header, I used my outlining ink that I've used before, that I used last month in my bullet journal for the painting, and this time I decided I would use that ink to go ahead and use my Tombow dual brush pen to color over it. If you do this, make sure that you give time to dry and wipe off the ink that is on top of that stuff that you wipe off, just because if you don't, it will smudge for sure. So then the next 2 pages here are going to be my sleep tracker and my meal plan, and I kind of forgot whenever I was doing the habit tracker about doing it in French, and so I decided to catch up with that on this one. So plan de repas for my meal plan, and then I believe it is soumil tracker. I may not be saying that right, and all of you French speakers out there, you just let me know in the comments below what I need to work on. And so I am sticking to a very similar outline on my sleep tracker, except that instead of writing in the actual number of hours, I'm going to have 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 up there, and I will just make a little box there to show how many hours I've gotten of sleep. And then because it looks so plain and boring, I decided to do some geometric with my ruler, so adding in the hexagons and the circles, and then just to give a little bit of difference between those hours, those little dotted lines. And then the last page here is my idea page, which I did in French. And so just a short little flip through here. I also decided to add in my savings goals that I do. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this bullet journal. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. And I also realized that I didn't do a flip through of the previous month, so I'll probably do a separate video of that for those of you who want to see how that turned out. So have a great day and enjoy planning for August. Thanks. Bye.